Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight I am going to be giving you my match reaction for the Shrewsbury Town Liverpool game that ended Shrewsbury Town 2, Liverpool 2. Surprisingly, obviously of course now it has gone to a replay at Anfield, but I'm very convinced that Liverpool will win the replay. But actually, this is something to tell. Liverpool have not progressed to the fifth round of the FA Cup, since Jurgen Klopp got recommended in. Of course, going into this game, Liverpool had made a variety of changes from their 2-1 win against their Wolves. There was still quite a few first teamers playing in that. I think they had around 4 or 5 first teamers out. Obviously, Fabinho started for them, Dejan Lovren started for them, Matip started for them, but they've all just come back from injury. But I've got to say, today they were woeful for Liverpool. Of course, Origi was another first team player. I don't think, he was really at it, so yeah. And obviously, a lot of kids played as well. Curtis Jones, of course, played. Shrewsbury played. Laruccio played for Liverpool. And yeah. So analysing the first half, Liverpool were too bad in the game. Obviously, Liverpool were 2-0 up. So I thought, the game was, basically over when there was 2-0 up. The first goal came from Curtis Jones. Now, that's his second senior goal for Liverpool because he scored in the third round against Everton. And that was actually, a really, really good goal. It was, by the way, Shrewsbury that had got the assist. Then obviously, the second goal was an own goal from Donald Love, and I think it is the most bizarre own goal I've seen for quite a long time. Then the game did look dead and buried, basically. So 2-0 at half time, but I thought still Shrewsbury, create some decent chances in the first half. But then in the second half, I thought it was totally comparison. I thought, actually, Shrewsbury bossed the second half. Obviously, Shrewsbury, got a penalty. There was a lot of controversy about that. I think a lot of Liverpool fans, felt as though that won a penalty. It was Jason Cummings that had got the penalty. He scored both of Shrewsbury's goals, but it was a very, very good penalty. And the second goal was fair enough. And, they also pushed for a third, did Shrewsbury, so they could have quite easily, won it. Sean Wally, I think, also, created decent chances for Shrewsbury. I think he also came on in the game. But I was very surprised because I expected Liverpool to win. In like the final 10 minutes of the game, Liverpool, brought obviously, Mohamed Salah on. Roberto Firmino came on in the game. Obviously, Salah had a great chance when he came on, but obviously, didn't convert it. And like I've said this season, Salah has not been clinical enough in front of goal, so he hasn't had that clinical element, but he has created a lot of chances. So you could say Salah's been quite poor. Firmino, I thought he could have scored when he came on, but he didn't because obviously, against Wolves, he did score late on, but, it just didn't happen. Liverpool, of course, have still got some injuries, and they've had quite a lot of injuries this season. They've obviously, still got Sadio Mane out. I think he's out for 5 to 6 weeks for Liverpool. I think they've still got James Milner out. He sustained his injury in the 1-0 win against Everton in the third round. I think Shaqiri is still out. Nathaniel Klein is still out. But, more players are now coming back from injury for Liverpool, like I said. I'm pretty sure did Chamberlain play today? I can't remember if Chamberlain played. But overall, it wasn't a great performance by Liverpool. But like I said, from a Shrewsbury perspective, they'll be very, very delighted, sitting 16th in League One. Getting a draw against the world champions and, the champions-elect, in the Premier League, definitely, because Liverpool are definitely, going to win the Premier League. So I think, credit Shrewsbury, League One, obviously, they did... they did a pitch invasion at the end of the game to celebrate. So they'll be very, very delighted, with that current draw. But, Liverpool, they know that the FA Cup is not their priority. Of course, they haven't won the FA Cup since 2006. which is around 14 years ago now. So that's, they haven't won it since 2006. But I think in total they've won the FA Cup around 7 times of Liverpool. But the FA Cup is not a priority. Revert back to what I said for them. Obviously, their priority is to win the Premier League, and they are going to win the Premier League, of course. They're undefeated in the Premier League so far this season. Obviously, they've won 21 games out of 22 games, out of 23 in the league. They're unbeaten in 40 Premier League games. So in their game against West Ham, I think on Wednesday, that is their game in hand, and they're looking to extend their unbeaten run to 41. They are unbeaten in 52 Premier League games at Anfield. And of course, they are 16 points in front of City and 19 points in front of Leicester, of course, with that game in hand and that. But, maybe Klopp, I haven't seen what he said, after the game. I think overall, he will be disappointed. But I can assure that Liverpool will win the second leg, because I think he'll go with a comparison team to what he went with today. I think, he'll put the first teamers out, to get the job done. And, obviously, this is the main explanation why Klopp brought Salah and Firmino on, is because, Klopp didn't want a replay, and it's as simple as that, basically. But Jurgen Klopp, like I said, he's on course to win his fourth trophy as a Liverpool manager. He's won 3 trophies at the moment: the FIFA Club World Cup earlier on in the season, the Super Cup earlier on in the season, and the Champions League at the end of last season, of course. In terms of the English clubs, Liverpool have won the most Champions Leagues, because they are on 6. But, with them winning the Premier League this season, when they do win it, that will end their 30-year drought. So definitely they're going to win the Premier League. That's their priority. They are still in the Champions League, and don't fully rule them out for that, because they've got a pretty decent pedigree in the Champions League. Won it last season against Tottenham, got to the final the season before against Real Madrid. Obviously they're not in the Carabao Cup, but I think probably the Premier League is only the trophy, that Liverpool will win this season, definitely. And all that. But like I said, overall, Liverpool have got a really, really good squad. They've also got some pretty decent young players, to be fair. Yes, they have, and Klopp's still got a contract with Liverpool until 2024. Maybe, when his contract does expire in 2024, then maybe he could go back to Germany, because obviously, that's where he's born, basically. Maybe he could extend his contracts after 2024. I'm not sure, but like I said on my recent videos, Jurgen Klopp's always had a style of play. He even had that style of play when he was at Borussia Dortmund. He won a couple of honours with Borussia Dortmund, a couple of titles with them. Obviously, before that, he was at Mainz 05, and he actually got relegated at Mainz 05. But Liverpool were great, today. They wasn't great. But, they've had bad games this season, but, they've just grinded them out results. Also, they've had some really good games where they've played really, really well. They play excellent football. But like I said, it's not always easy, going to smaller teams' grounds. It's not always easy. Obviously, like I said, we won 6-0 today against Tranmere. Man City comfortably beat Fulham 4-0. I think all of the top teams are into the 5th round now. I presume Liverpool will be in the 5th round when they do beat Shrewsbury in the replay. So there's a chance, we could, meet Liverpool in the 5th round. We could maybe even meet Chelsea. We could even meet Man City. But, want to see some interesting games. So I want to see some interesting draws for the 5th round of the competition. The competition, and Harvey Elliott, was quite poor for Liverpool today as well. Williams, I think, was playing, but so Liverpool perspective, they will be disappointed, but I think they're going to definitely beat them in the replay. You saw my match reaction, for the Tranmere Man United game. Of course, we won by 6 goals to 0. We proven to be very, very clinical today. Very, very delighted with the result. That's our biggest away win in all competitions, since 1999, when we beat Nottingham Forest by 8 goals to 1, and it's actually the first time we've scored 6 goals since the Alex Ferguson era. So yeah, we did beat Tranmere by 6 goals to 0. Like I said, I expected us to win the game because obviously Tranmere are League One. They're sitting 21st in League One, but I didn't expect us to win by 6 goals to 0. Maybe I expected like maybe 2 or 3-0 to Man United or something like that. Obviously, we didn't play all our first teamers. There was quite a lot of first teamers on the pitch and that. We rested the likes of Wan-Bissaka, we rested Daniel James. Of course, there was no Daniel James and that. We rested a few first teamers and that, but Solskjaer went with a lot of first teamers because obviously he didn't want to take many risks basically, because when we played Tranmere earlier on in the season, we lost. That was on the under-21s. We did lose by 3 goals to 2. So the good news is now, we're into the 5th round of the competition and that. It's going to be interesting to see who we get in the 5th round. Solskjaer was very, very delighted with the performance today. And he's actually, come out as Solskjaer. He says he's promised Man United, that he will bring the good times back at the football club, definitely in that. But very, very good away win. Obviously, Harry Maguire scored the first goal, lovely strike from outside of the box. Lindelof had got the assist. I thought Maguire was one of the best players on the pitch today. He played out from the back well, his distribution was good. He wasn't so good against Burnley, but I thought he was very, very good today. The last second goal was very, very good. Martial got the assist. It was lovely link-up play between Dalot and Martial. They combined well together. And Dalot did a Ronaldo chop, but what a finish that was from Diego Dalot. He's going to get more chances now under his belt. I do presume that he's now back from injury. The third goal from Jesse Lingard was also good. I think Maguire got the assist for that. That's Lingard's first goal for Manchester United, in over the year, because analysing it last year, he didn't score 1 goal or 1 single assist, so that indicates how bad he's been. But he was very, very good today, and he actually got man of the match. So if he can rejuvenate himself from now, then maybe my perceptions will change regarding Lingard, because I said I still wanted him out of the football club. So we basically scored 3 goals in the first. We scored 3 goals in the space of 6 minutes, basically. The 4th goal came from Phil Jones, lovely header from that corner. I think Martial got the assist to that. Martial, of course, scored the 5th goal. Very, very good goal, that 5th goal. It actually, got a slight deflection, but, it was still very, very good goal. I think Shaw got the assist. And, of course, it was 5-0 at half-time. And then the 6th goal came from Mason Greenwood in the second half. It was a penalty, Stonewall penalty. Mason Greenwood converts a penalty, and that was 6-0. Could have been more than 6-0, I think, the shots we did have on target, the vast majority of them were the goals that were on target, so that just proves how clinical we were. I think there was like 2 chances on target where we didn't, actually, score. I think their keeper had to make a few saves. Is it Scott Davis? Chong also hit the crossbar. But I think, I've got to say, he made an impact, did Chong, when he came on in the game. He made a fantastic impact for Man United. But, like I said on my reaction earlier on, we've shown today that we can play really, really well, even if it is against a crap opposition. It just proves we can play as a unit and we can play as a team and that. But what we did today against League One Tranmere, we've got to start replicating that in the Premier League. We've got to find that consistency in the Premier League, and we saw that consistency today against Tranmere. So hopefully now we can go on a good winning run. And Solskjaer, he said before the game that Solskjaer possibly, could have been sacked if we hadn't beaten Tranmere today and that. And obviously he was coming out with comments like, obviously, he was aware of the conditions at Tranmere. And, he says, that's no excuse for the players. This is what, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had said. But from Solskjaer's perspective, he still feels as though that, the board are backing him, even, despite our inconsistency for the vast majority of this season. But reflect on this result today, I still don't think Solskjaer is the long-term solution for Man United. Probably wouldn't be the right solution, to obviously, end him now, because there'd be no point sacking Solskjaer now anywhere. Probably, could be here until the end of the season. Analysing it, it depends really. If we can get the top 4 this season, which is obviously one of our ambitions, we want to get in that top 4 so we can get Champions League football secured. if we can, get some silverware on the board, then maybe, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be, maybe then we'll be determined to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer another full season at the club, because as it is now, it's his first full season at Manchester United. And, I'd love us to win the FA Cup. We're in the 5th round now. You never know. We could win the FA Cup. I don't see it happening because obviously, there's still, elite oppositions in it like City, Chelsea, City, Chelsea and all that. And, Liverpool are probably going to be in the 5th round. Presume probably Arsenal are going to get into the 5th round because I think they'll beat Bournemouth. So, and even if we don't win it, look, I'd love us to enjoy a good FA Cup run. And we enjoyed a good run in the Cup last season. We're beating Reading in the 3rd round. We're beating Chelsea. Oh, sorry, it was Arsenal in the 4th round. Then we're beating Chelsea in the 5th round. But last season, we progressed to the quarterfinals of the competition. So if we could get to round the ball this season, get that top 4, maybe then I would slightly change my perception regarding Solskjaer. Then I'd probably give him another season then, definitely give him another season. But, we ran the show today, we passed the ball well, we created good chances, a lot of good individual performances. Maguire good, Lingard good, Chon did well when he came on, Shaw was very, very good, Martial was very, very good. So very, very good team performance and that. And, like I said, it's good for the young players, to get given their chances. And Solskjaer did confirm at the start of this season that the young players would get given their chances. And, they have been given their chances. I think Greenwood's going to become a success at the club. There's question marks regarding Solskjaer that, he doesn't really start Mason Greenwood enough in the Premier League. I think he needs to start more in the league games, does Mason Greenwood, because Greenwood is now on 10 senior goals for Manchester United this season. He's on 10 senior goals for us in like 20-odd first-team appearances. And this is only his first season in the senior squad with Man United's Mason Greenwood's. Brandon Williams, I think he's going to become a success at the club. I also think Tuanzebe is going to do really, really well for us. And that's when, obviously, when he's back from injury, because he's been out of injuries, Tuanzebe. I think also, too, James Garner, I know he didn't play today, but I think, in games he's played in this season, he's done well. With Angel Gomez, I'm not too sure about him because he isn't really getting enough opportunities, Angel Gomez, and I think in that aspect, maybe Man United, should consider getting rid of Angel Gomez. So we've got a hell of a lot of young players in the squad, but I'll credit Solskjaer in that aspect. He has got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players and that. The one thing I was surprised with today, that Eric Bailly, didn't play. I thought even if he didn't start, I thought he may have been given a chance, because there's reports saying that Bailly, could have been involved, because, Bailly hasn't played since pre-season. The last league game he played was back in April last year, but he's come back now from a knee injury. Fosu-Mensah I thought could have been involved today, because he's also now back from injury, because they've been playing for the under-23s not too long ago, and Fosu-Mensah was out with a knee injury, so I'm surprised they wasn't involved in the game. Sergio Romero, of course, started today. He tends to start in the cup games as well. But yeah, fair play, to how we played today and that. And, it was a good reaction, because we needed that reaction, because we've enjoyed a very difficult week. Losing to Liverpool 2-0 last week, losing at home, to Burnley, midweek. That was our first defeat to Burnley, Old Trafford since 1962, which is around 58 years. And that was a bad performance, but what I saw today was a totally comparison, definitely in that. So I am very, very delighted in that. Very, very delighted, I still think, we need to get rid of Ed Woodward, and we need to get rid of the Glazers. A lot of United fans have been protesting about Ed Woodward and the Glazers. I think we've also got to get more players out. I still think around 6 or 7 more players will leave Man United. I think, we need to get our board out, because our board have been a liability for several years. So we've also got to get them out. And Ferdinand came out and, he was talking about our poor recruitment. Obviously, Solskjaer says, recently it's not the right time to discuss the club's recruitment policy, But yeah, we need to see a variety of changes at the football club, definitely in that. But, we've got to start, getting wins now in the Premier League, because we want to keep that pressure on that top 4. We've had numerous opportunities, to get into that top 4, because Chelsea have been so inconsistent, You will know that. Chelsea have been so inconsistent in that, and so we've had them chances and it's been very, very disappointing, but it's been confirmed that, Solskjaer is actually, our worst manager, in the club's modern history, because he's actually, lost more Premier League games than he's won. This is since he got the job permanently and that. And, we have enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years, so this is the worst we've ever been in the Premier League era. But reverting back to what I said, if we can get top four this season, if we can win, some silverware, I will be very, very delighted because we've lacked silverware in the last 6 or 7 years. We've only won 3 trophies since the Alex Ferguson era, and that's the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho and that. And that came in Jose Mourinho's first season. I think we need a manager in at the top level, a manager with a proven pedigree. But, that's not always the right solution, don't get me wrong, because we've already had 2 world-class managers in, Van Gaal and Mourinho. But obviously, when it didn't work out, and obviously we had an average manager in David Moyes. Man United made one mistake, and that was obviously, recommending David Moyes in. That was Ferguson's fault, by the way, but that's the only mistake Alex Ferguson did make. But we'll keep Solskjaer at least until the end of this season. He's still got around 2.5 years left on his deal. I can't see him seeing out his 2.5-year deal unless, unless we dramatically improved, then he could see out his 2.5-year deal at the club. He did sign a 3-year contract, when he got the job in March last year, but now he's got 2.5 years left on his deal. Even Danny Murphy, he feels as though that, the criticism regarding Solskjaer has gone over the top, and he feels as though that we need to give him, time, to fix Manchester United, basically. Everyone's, got different perceptions regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I can assure that we won't win our 21st title under Solskjaer. We are the most successful team in England historically because, we've won 20, titles, 13 Premier League, 7 all the first divisions. We haven't won the league for 7 years, so we haven't won it since 2013. We haven't won it since 2013, the league. And, I don't see us winning it for several years because we're not good enough at the moment to do that. In the next couple of seasons, our aspirations will be that top 4, definitely. I said this season, our expectations was that top 4. And I think going on into next season, our expectations will be that current top 4. I don't think we're going to mount any kind of title challenge up as, next season. It's very imperative that we'll make signings in this January transfer window. We've also got to make signings in the summer as well. And also we've got to address the deficiencies in the squad. We need to make signings at Manchester United. We need to get the right players in that can elevate us forward, get us back up there challenging for major honours, and if we can do that, I will be very, very delighted, definitely. Don't forget, we've had a lot of injuries this season, but I don't think that's been excusable for how inconsistent we've been. Some players have come back from injury. Obviously, it's bad news regarding Marcus Rashford. He's out, I think, until April or late March, is it, or something like that. He's out for at least 6 weeks, put it that way. He sustained double fracture in his back. So it's bad news regarding Rashford. Now, obviously, we're after someone on loan, until the end of the season, until Rashford, of course, comes back from injury. Until Rashford comes back from injury. And, Pogba and McTominay still out. We lack creativeness in that midfield without Pogba and McTominay, don't get me wrong. And, Rojo and Tuanzebe is still out. Shaw's just come back from injury. Martial was injured early on in the season. So we've had a lot of injuries this season, to be fair, but that's not excusable. So hopefully now, reflect on the win against Tranmere. It can create a platform for us, give us something to build on, and hopefully now we can have a good second half to the season. Well, I'm hopeful that we can do this anyway. We've got games coming up thick and fast. City's a big game for us, but I don't see us, overcoming that 2-goal deficit in the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. The Wolves game on Saturday is a big game. We can beat Wolves because we beat them in the FA Cup third round replay, even though they're a good team. And then after that, we go to Chelsea on the 17th of February. And, that's not going to be an easy game. But Chelsea themselves have been inconsistent this season. So, that's everything to update you today. There will be more videos coming tomorrow, to give you the latest transfer news and all that. Drop your comments, likes, on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe. As always, take care. God bless. See you all again soon.